Hey, we're going to go into a video version of an article I wrote for bodybuilding.com, which if you're reading right now, if you're on their page, this is it right here. This is the master copy, okay? I'm going to go over the 4 different things that you can look for in your back squat to know if you're compensating or not. What is a compensation pattern? Well, we're going to go into it today, as well as the 4 most common ones you can see and correct to improve how much you lift, how safe it is, and decrease your injury rate. Here we go. Hey, it's Dr. Sebastian Gonzalez again. I'm going to show you 4 different compensation patterns for back squatting. This can also apply to front squatting too. So we're going to start in the weight room. I'm going to use a bar just to show you in relationship to where these compensation patterns happen. You've probably heard of a couple of them, but I'm going to describe a little bit more in detail why it's important. Okay, so first thing is, and we're going to pan down to the knees. Actually, before we start, so it's knee cave, hyperextension, looking up, and lastly is a feeling one, it's hamstring overactivity. Okay, so let's start with the knees. So pan down here for me. Let's use this as a reference point here. This is probably the one that most of you are familiar with. So we roughly want the knee tracking over about the 2nd toe when we're squatting here. Sure, there might be arguments, should it be here, but whatever, right? If you see it coming inside the arch, you see on this side here, then we got a problem, okay? We can argue and say that, well, what realm is best in there, but realistically, if we see gross movement right here inside the 1st toe, then we have an issue, okay? This compensation pattern affects your ability to drive weight skyward because your knee is no longer in this vector of drive. You have to get it in there, okay? And same thing goes with lateral squatting, which we're not going over much today, but if I'm trying to push this way, you can't have the knee drift out. Same thing, I'm pushing this way because I'm going that way, okay? You're pushing the weight up, you gotta have it stacked over the feet, okay? Now this compensation pattern happens a lot of times because of fatigue, even to the point to where you're not even gassed out yet. This is in the article correlated to this video. I won't spend a ton of time on it. It's on bodybuilding.com, although you might be watching this on YouTube. Look at the phasic and tonic systems. It is highly correlated to this. So if you have knee cave and it keeps happening, this could be a reason why. Let's fix our functional capacity. I know that term is a little bit elusive too. There's a whole other article on functional capacity. So bodybuilding.com is going to link all these together and make it really comprehensive for you, okay? So next thing, let's pan up and we're going to look at hyperextension in the back. And I'm going to tuck my shirt in for this one. Now, hyperextension in the back, again, comes to the point again with the muscles which become overactive because you are trying to lift weight or go too long without actually having proper stabilization of everything in the area. Now, I know that's probably a mouthful there, but in this area, let's talk about the torso, all right? So we have the muscles of the back, which are the spinal erectors, the lat dorsi goes here. Now we have the internal external oblique, the transverse abdominis, the rectus abdominis, we have the diaphragm, pelvic floor, we have a ton of stuff, okay? But when this is happening, and I have the stick here in relationship just so you can see, whatever arch you have right here to start with, once you got it dialed in, you shouldn't increase it and you shouldn't lose it, okay? So if all of a sudden you're squatting 5 times and you're driving up like this and it looks good, and all of a sudden you go like this and your buddy's like, hey man, that was a good rep, you got the weight up. It was not a good rep, okay? You hyperextended, you overcompensated, you're letting one muscle group do the work that the rest of them should be doing too. This is gonna get you an injury at some point, okay? Next, let's go to neck extension. This one might not seem like a compensation pattern, but realistically it's an early sign that you're starting to degrade in form. Again, that functional capacity that I spoke about, there's a whole other correlated article. It's based upon the tonic and phasic systems, which are really documented as muscular systems, which one gasses out first, the other one's still there. And when it's still there, that's when we see all these little compensations happen. However, you still got gas because this group still has gas, okay? So with squatting, you're gonna see your hips go back and you're gonna see, I guess I'm kind of deadlifting, sorry. I was showing a deadlifting video earlier. You're gonna see this happen. Now, this is a large amount of hyperextension. Some people might just kind of poke their chin out like this, all right? I'd rather see it right around here. Now, some people might argue, well, this is better, you get more power out of that, which True, some people do. But if I see this and we're looking at actually, we have to assess the overall goal. If your goal is just to be in shape and you're not competing with stuff, get your form right, okay? There's no reason to compensate and have a risk of injury if you're not competing, you're not making money off your body, okay? It's not worth it. Get your goals right. Lastly, we're gonna talk about hamstring overactivity, okay? Now, I did a podcast with Brendan Gassamia on this, so you're gonna have to listen to that part to get a little bit more out of it. Hopefully we got an embedded link inside the article here. So what we find, I'll go this way, is that with squatting, you should feel your hamstrings, you should feel your quads, you should feel your hips, you should feel a lot of things, okay? But you shouldn't feel one side light up. And if you notice my squatting right here, or at least where I'm staying at, is I'm grossly over dominating on my left side, okay? Perhaps I had a past injury right here. Either way, you might notice 5 reps going here up and down, that's cool. Or you might notice that, say, 100-pound squatting, 105. Good, and all of a sudden you get to about 200 pounds and all of a sudden you start shifting here. Are these good reps? No. This is a compensation pattern which at some point is gonna blow this leg out, although this was the side which was the issue at first. You need to load it, you need to have equal foot drive, you have to make both hips work, and that is how we squat properly. So those 4 compensation patterns. Number 1, knee dive, knee inward cave. Second, hyperextension of the low back. Third, hyperextension of the neck. Fourth, lighten up one hamstring or one leg or one hip, okay? Might seem complicated again, I know, but I'm gonna put this on a checklist for you. Hopefully I have a link under the video or on YouTube. I will definitely put one in there for a checklist that you can use these. And I want you to actually do something for me. We're gonna use squat quiz, all right? We're gonna videotape each other's squats. We're gonna put it on YouTube, hashtag squat quiz. And I want everyone to see what they see. Because really, when you teach people to see these things, they'll start to realize what's going on, but they blow right by them, okay? Put it out there for your peers, let everyone else assess it for you, and thank bodybuilding.com for asking me to do this article, all right? Whatever else you want to hear about, let me know, let them know, and I'd love to do more for you. Talk to you soon. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and check out the website that I have, p2sportscare.com, that has a ton of good articles on stuff like this in simpler terms. Talk to you soon.